Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and today guys we are doing a little bit of an unboxing slash book review. But before we get into this, please do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. And you can check the description box down below for links to all of my social media, including information about my Patreon slash book club, where I'm currently giving away a set of broken binding books, and the Discord, if you want to join a great bookish community. With that out of the way guys, the series that we are talking about is actually two series. We've got Fate of Wizardoms and we've got Fall of Wizardoms by Jeffrey L. Kohanek. And I have read the first book of Fate of Wizardoms, which is called Eye of Obscurance. But before we get into any sort of review, we are going to do an unboxing because the author has sent me some books. And these things are gorgeous. They are still available to order from the author's website, which again, I will also have linked in the description box down below. And these are gorgeous. I've got them just right off of screen here. You can definitely tell they're still cellophane wrapped. I have not got my hands on either of these yet. The only thing I've done is I've taken them out of the box. And I want to do Fate of Wizardoms first because essentially that is what I first read. Now, before I open up these packages, the books came with these amazing, very thick bookmarks right here with holographic foil. This one's for Fall of Wizardoms, and this one's for Fate of Wizardoms, and they are stunning. We've got some sort of spell and a sword right there. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And I also got this awesome kind of cloth map wall hanging, if I can get into it. There we go. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm a little congested. I spent a lot of time outside yesterday, but here is a map slash wall hanging, and it is stunning. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, it's very cool. Very, very cool. I think I like the cloth map better than I like a paper map. It feels like this will last longer. Yeah, I kind of like this. I think this is a better idea than paper. Let me know in the comments what you think. But that out of the way, let's get into Fate of Wizardoms. Here it is, right here. It's slipcased. It's gorgeous. Okay. Come on. I can get it. Aha! We have release of the plastic. Sometimes the plastic fights back. Alright. Very robust slipcase, but here it is without the plastic, where you can see right here on the side, it says Fate of Wizardoms. And then we've got two books. Now, these are two omnibuses. This is a 6-book series compiled into these 2-book editions. We've got a gilded edge right there. And I believe this is one. Yeah, it says one right here at the bottom. And it's got some gorgeous maps, that wall hanging right there. We've got covers. We've got signed books number 1 through 3. And I have read book 1. And let's see. Let's just give it a good flutter. Sometimes you got to do that to release the gilding. There is some art on the inside of here. Some black and white art. Kind of just right there. Very, very cool. Then let's take a look at book number 2. And this is going to be books 4 through 6. Again, signed. Different art. Same map. Flutter the gilding, you can kind of hear it kind of crinkling. That's because when the books are sprayed with the gold paint, they're just kind of left in the block, and so in order to release it, you got to give them a little flutter. These are gorgeous. They feel really good in the hand. There's a sewn-in ribbon as well, right here at the bottom as well. I think these are faux leather. It says, "A grim prophecy proclaims the Dark Lord rises." Ah, gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Huge thank you to the author for this. Where wizards rule, magic reigns supreme. Right there. And if I could sell this series to you while I open up this one, this reminded me very much of kind of Dragonlance era style of fantasy. So that late 80s, early 90s, potentially into the 2000s style of quest-based fantasy. What I consider my bread and butter. It reminded me a whole lot about that, and it was phenomenal reading experience. I mean, it was just such a delight to read. I am going to use a little bit of a screwdriver Took a risk there. Hopefully I haven't damaged anything. I don't think I have. A slight mark to the inside of the boards, but it is what it is. Alright. The books are fine, so that's what matters. Okay. Here we go. Plastic everywhere. And Fall of Wizardoms, which I believe this is a sequel series to Fate of Wizardoms. Fall of Wizardoms. And then there is a prequel series as well. There's a lot of content to dig into with this series. There are 21 books currently out from this author, and I am very, very excited to dive on in. Flutter the boards. All right. Signed by the author, Fate of Wizardoms 1 through 3. And again, more art, same map. We're going to go ahead and get that back in here. And we've got this purple. Ooh, I really love this purple. And this one says, disease, chaos, and monsters threaten the realm. Is this the end? Because I did it with the other one. Heroes assemble to foil an evil plot. Failure would doom their world. And we're going to flutter the gilding. There you go. You can hear it as that foiling releases. Good stuff. And then more art. Same map. And signed. These are gorgeous. They feel really good in the hand. It feels like it's really good. I want to say build quality almost. Despite the fact that we're talking about a book. But they feel really well. They feel like you could actually read from these. And you don't have to be dainty with them. So I really appreciate that. But what I am going to talk about now is a little bit of a review for, let's see, Volume 1? Nope, that's Volume 2. Let's get Volume 1. For Volume 1 of Fate of Wizardoms. And as I kind of read through this omnibus, I plan to chat with the author here on the channel. I'm actually really excited for this. But essentially, Eye of Obscurance is book number 1. What's interesting is we've got this motley crew of characters. We've got an acrobat named Roa, and we've got a spy slash assassin slash thief slash anti-hero in Jace. And these are our two main characters, and essentially, when we first meet them, they are looking to steal a pendant that makes them immune to wizard magic. And basically, the wizards have kind of come to power and live in fiefdoms that are called wizardoms, where they reign essentially supreme. And in these wizardoms, like, the wizards are the top tier. Like, you treat them as barons, lords, kings type of deal. And then throughout this world, there's also a kind of a siphoning of power and or life essence from the populace, where you have to give daily devotion, which that energy is then sucked into an even higher, like, high wizard. And that person is basically, they have elongated life, they have elevated power, so yada yada yada. Anyway, basically Roa is out for revenge. Her family was chosen for sacrifice. Basically, within these worlds as well, there is a yearly sacrifice, or a twice yearly sacrifice, that's completely at random. It's called the lottery. And her family was picked, and this left her destitute as an orphan. She was supposed to be sacrificed, but somebody stepped in and saved her. And she's ended up in this traveling show, and basically Roa wants revenge against the wizardom, or the wizard who did this to her family. And so she's seeking out the amulet. Then we've got Jace. Jace is just taking a contract. Basically, he's taken a contract to steal the amulet because somebody wants a wizard dead. And he's just like, yeah, sure, why not? And so he kind of comes to clashes with Roa. And throughout this, they run into a maker who's essentially a dwarf, but the dwarf happens to be hairless, which is a great shame, who's been exiled from his mountain. And his name is Rock, and he's got this really cool sort of power where he can just manipulate stone with his hands, and he can craft and, like, create, and it's this take on dwarves that I have yet to, like, really see, but I really appreciated it because it gives him this preternatural ability to shape and work with stone. And Rock is just this amazing character because he's lost, he wants friends, and he falls in with Roa and this motley crew that they find themselves in as they go to take on this job. One thing I need to talk about is I love the level of humor within this series. Essentially, when we meet Jace, Jace is dressed up as a serving woman, shaved himself bald, and is trying to infiltrate a wizard tower because the wizards are, like, pervy old men. And he's just like, well, if I'm gonna be able to get close to my objective, I've got to be able to, like, work in this tower, and they only hire women. So I'm going to act like a woman and deal with what women have to deal with in these professions and in this kind of, like, medieval time. And it's just hilarious watching him kind of just slide in and out of various roles. And then sometimes he lands on his face, sometimes, like, at some point I'm sure there is a groin shot that he has to endure, and it's just, it's fantastic the level of humor that Jeffrey L. Kohanek has been able to inject into this series. It scratched an itch that I didn't know I needed. And essentially, I have Obscurance so far in the month that I've read it is my book of the month. It is fantastic. I would give it either like a 4.75 or a 5. I don't know where I would split a hair, other than the fact that, like, it was just so incredibly heartwarming to be able to come back to this older style of fantasy that has been just kind of given a lick of polish for a modern audience. I really, really enjoy the writing here. It's easy to read, it's digestible, it pulls you through, you've got a great cast of characters, it's got good pacing, inventive yet familiar ideas that are done in just unique ways, like Wizardoms, where we've got these high-powered wizards who have basically become kings. It's a familiar idea, but I don't know necessarily if I've seen it before, or if I have seen it, I couldn't tell you where I've seen it. So it's not something that is just overly done. A hairless dwarf, it's hilarious. It's something I would see in a D&D campaign. And yet, like, here, it just works. Please do yourself a favor and check out this series. It's available on Kindle Unlimited if you don't want to spring for these Kickstarter / premium limited editions. However, if you do, they do feel amazing in the hand, and they do look very handsome on the shelf. Overall, I love this series. I cannot wait to continue it. Please do me a favor. Check out the description box down below for links to Jeffrey L. Kohanek's website, where you can kind of just get a gist of what this series is about. Or if this review was helpful, please let me know in the comments down below. But that's all I've really got for today, guys. I hope you are doing well. Till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my passion and my hobby. It means the world to me.